We are back live in Los Angeles with two-time Tony Award-winning producer, Erin Schreiber. I am so excited to welcome you to the show. Thank you.
Thrilled to be here.
So nice to
All
meet
the way
you.
from New York
Yes.
to LaLa Land. Your story is so inspiring.
Thank you so much.
Tell us a little bit about what brought you to Broadway.
Well, I was listening to your discussion before about assets and importance and following dreams, and I want to talk about that. I started out as an actress and a writer, and then I produced a play that I had co-written to act into in LA. So I decided to make something happen, which I think you were talking about before. You have to take control of your life. And then when I came to New York, I decided I would try to do my play. And someone said, well, if you want to do your play in New York, you should invest in a play on Broadway. And I said, well, I don't want to invest, I want to produce. And that was in 2010. And that show was next fall, and that was my first Tony nominated show.
Wow.
So since 2010, I've been on this incredible ride. And I just think one of the great things for your listeners is not to be afraid. I was involved in this incredible play called The Scottsboro Boys, which is a musical on Broadway, which is the most important show that I've been involved with. And when it closed on Broadway, I was devastated, and it meant a lot to me. So I thought I should take it to London. And I had never done a show before in London, but I needed to give this play a bigger audience. And so I went to London, and here it was. I never produced before in London, and I produced this play in London, and then it went on to the West End, and we were nominated for 7 Olivier's, and we won the Evening Standard, and it's just an incredible play if you have it. Musical by Cantor Nebb, who did Cabaret in Chicago, the Scottsboro Boys.
You've been called the most generous and thoughtful producer.
Oh, thank you so
on
much.
Broadway. What does that mean to you?
Well, what I love to do with any show that I'm in is really, well, let me just go back. No producer does it alone. A producer, you have to bring in investors, you have to bring in other people, because shows are very expensive. They can cost $15 million to do a musical, or more now, $20 million. So obviously, I don't pay for that myself. So you bring in other people. So I like to share as much as possible with anyone that I bring in, my investors, and share information, share the joy of what we're doing, get them involved in ways they can help to promote the show. And I think also because I'm an actress and have been an actress, I can understand more what actors are going through. And like when we were doing Scottsboro Boys, one of the actors needed a cooler in his dressing room because it got so hot, and I made sure he had a refrigerator in there. So it's that kind of paying attention to details and understanding what people are going through.
So
but that's really sweet.
At the beginning of the show, we asked how you start your day, and you said you meditate in the morning. How has meditation played into the success within your business?
The arts and business, it's the most stressful business in the world. Okay, it isn't like you go into this to make money. Either acting, writing, you do this because it's a passion. When I started out, I sold Mary Kay. I was a waitress. I sold insulation. I did crazy. Really, I went into East LA and went into homes and sold insulation.
You got to do what you got to do.
I did whatever. And so you don't do this to make money. So the meditation helps relax you, but I mean, there are all these different things that you need to do to move ahead in your career. What else can I say about I was thinking about when you said what your assets are. My assets are the incredible plays and productions that I've done. And the more plays and what gives me joy is when I think about the work that I have been even a small part of and bringing to Broadway, and shows that are meaningful, that have made a difference. Shows like Angels in America, which talk about gay rights and the AIDS, what happened with the AIDS movement in the 80s. That shows like Next Fall, which talk about gay rights. Shows like the Scottsboro Boys, which deal with racism. So that's my
huge
joy.
Asset.
That's my asset. And because I've done shows like that, so then people reach out to me because I want to be part of future shows that I might be doing.
Right, and so the asset is obviously your wisdom, all the assets. Of course, the shows are assets, but all your knowledge is huge assets.
Yes, that's true, and all that I've gained going along and what I can share with other people. And I love to share, and I love to bring on new investors, and I love to share. Well, let me just say for a second, theater is so important. It changes lives, and this is actually a new thing that I'm involved in that I want to share. I've seen, there's a woman in London, this is a little non sequitur, but she's been, for 13 years, she's been working in Kent, and she's been saving actually kids' lives through theater. She's been taking kids who have sort of been overlooked by the schools and helping them find a community. Theater can be a community to get involved with. she took this one boy who was basically the teacher's had sort of lost faith in, and he had never sung a note in his life, and he now is singing Italian opera.
Wow.
So he's been transformed. He actually was on British Got Talent in London, and so now she's doing a documentary on how theater can transform lives.
How has theater transformed your life?
Well, that's an excellent question. I started out as an actress. It's my greatest joy to be in plays, and then I learned the joy of making a show happen that I haven't written and that I'm not in, but to bring something important to others that can change lives. So it's been the most important thing to me because of what it can do for others. One of the plays, Stick Fly, was about middle-class blacks, and there were people who had never seen themselves on stage before, and I think that's one of the best things about theater is that people can see themselves on stage who haven't found a voice before, and they think no one cares about them or no one knows about them, and so theater can do that for people, and it can teach people. So next fall, for example, many people came out after seeing that show because they saw on stage themselves, and they were able to talk to grandparents and say, I'm gay, because they were able to see on stage what the strife is and what the struggle is for people. So,
but it's not just the theater that presents that opportunity. I hope you realize that that's you.
Oh, well, that's so sweet.
You, Catherine, in creating a space and being so dedicated to your purpose and to your vision and your mission.
It is passion to me because it's a great joy to me. I want, racism, and with Scottsboro boys, it boggles my mind how people can treat people like that. And unfortunately, we still see it going on today. So if there's a way by having a theater piece on stage where people can see how the horrors of when you treat people like that and what it really does to somebody, and it can change people.
For sure.
That's the best thing that's so important.
They're the highest expression.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for
gosh.
all your work.
Oh, thank you for having
find
me.
you?
www.CatherineSchreiberProductions.com.
I love it.
Yeah.
In New York and London.
New York and London.
For
Oh, let me just say, the
women.
play that goes wrong, which is this wonderful comedy I'm doing, is coming to LA. Tickets go on sale in September. It's going to be at the Amundsen. It won the Olivier for Best Comedy, and it isn't changing lives, but it is making you laugh all day long.
Laughter
And we need
changes
laughter.
lives.
Absolutely.
We absolutely, in this today's world, we need laughter.
Ask
So
Don Cousins. He believed he laughed himself to health. So
I totally believe
Yeah.
that. We need to laugh every day.
Absolutely.
So that
It's
we
everything.
can share that
Well, thank
joy.
you so much for everything. Knowing your
Thank
art
you.
is your greatest asset because it's your highest expression. So stay tuned, you guys. We'll be right back.